Here we are, just at the tip of the beginning of the fall, with temps remaining in the 80s for just long enough to start this week's Explore Tulsa with Big Art in Sand Springs.
Then what's on board?
Followed by the red carpet in T-Town.
Plus a must-see fall season premiere.
Hi there, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. Thanks for including us in your fall lineup for this week's Explore Tulsa. Stevie, what are you doing with those spray paint cans?
Got the idea from Josh Butts to paint us in a mural on the back of the building.
Ooh, now wait a minute. Josh puts a lot of planning into coming up with the murals he does with painting in Sand Springs. Don't you think you should spend a little time formulating like an idea or something?
I did. Well, I was going big potty this morning. Want me to tell you all about it?
Yuck. How about we just learn more about Josh's creative process instead?
I think, you know, when you install a mural or you do any public art, or even if you're just mowing your lawn, what you do kind of makes it yours, you know. And in a way, what we're doing is we're saying, hey, this spot is ours, this land is ours. This is how we decide to define it. And I really hope that the city will embrace it and be proud of it. I'm certainly proud of it.
Well, this is the old Monarch cement plant, and the reason we decided we wanted to put a mural on this is Sand Springs is the hidden gem of the Tulsa metro area. We have a lot of outdoor living to offer. We've got nesting eagles. We've got beautiful homes with vistas that are second to none, showing the Tulsa skyline and then the rolling hills, rocks, and trees. So we wanted visitors, as they're coming into our community, to realize that this is a great place to live, work, and play. We had seen some of Josh's work previously in the Blue Dome District, and we really liked it. And we struggled to find out, you know, who this artist was. And our former marketing director found Josh and put him in contact with us. He said he had been looking at this silo thinking it would be a great place to put a mural on. So it was just kind of a pre-fated destiny for us to meet.
I'm originally from Western New York, kind of Buffalo, New York area. South of that, very rural part of New York. And I spent about 5 years in the Army right out of high school, and not much art there. But when I got out of the Army, the funny thing that happened is my colonel, we were in Kuwait, we just left Iraq, and he says, well, Sergeant Butts, what are you gonna do now? Are you gonna go be a cop or something? I said, no, sir, I'm going to art school. And he laughed at me, and so, take that, sir. Yeah, so one of the things that's interesting about the city of Sand Springs is there is a ton of history to Sand Springs. So I spent a lot of time researching. They've got a real cool, like a museum and exhibit space. And I also heard a lot from a group of people at the city about where Sand Springs is wanting to go, where they're not just who they are historically, but who they are in the future. One of the things that they're trying to key in a lot on is, you know, there's a lot of natural resources and a lot of beauty that God just happened to put here. And so using that space, the city's really interested in becoming the outdoor kind of mecca for Northeast Oklahoma. And it's attempting to do that. So I thought, well, what a better way to do that than create, in essence, what would be like a Colorado, you know, have you seen those visit beautiful Colorado or hike scenic, you know, Yellowstone or something. So inspired from those old 20s era, 30s era travel posters, this is kind of where this kind of was born out of, and that's where it grew. You know, I think there's a lot to take away from this particular piece. One is that Sand Springs is really doing a lot. It has a vibrant future, so we chose the colors that we did. It has a lot to offer. There's a lot of depth to it, and so that's why, you know, you can kind of see that the mural itself has a lot of depth. There's you know, it's kind of a romantic color, a romantic feel, but I want the people who live here to be proud of this. You know, I'm trying to paint this in a way that the city and the people will want to come and see it, and they'll be proud of it.
We're least planning 2. And then we like to do some other public arts projects with some of the students at the Tulsa Technology Center, maybe the high school. So we're looking at various places. We'd like to really get public art front and center in our community.
You know, I've gotten a lot of encouragement. The people driving by, I've counted my success every day by the number of honks I get. So that's, at the beginning it was a little bit of alarming because I'm 85 feet up in the air and people are honking at me. So I thought I was doing something wrong, but I'm authorized to be here, so.
What a fun guy. So the next time you see some dude with cans of spray paint in Sand Springs, gently honk to say hi to Josh.
If you'd like to have Josh handle some art or graphic artwork for you, visit joshbuttsdraws.com to learn more.
This show is full of great artists, and our next guest had to be struck by lightning to get fully inspired.
Tom at Laser Estudio joins us next. We return with more Explore Tulsa.
Take charge of your health. We are what we put into our bodies.
We approach medicine from a unique standpoint. Rather than treating only the symptoms of an illness, we work to find the root cause and promote wellness of the entire body.
Our clinic offers complete assessment and treatment programs, including hormone replacement therapy, osteopathic manipulative therapy, and genetic DNA testing. It all starts with a medical evaluation.
Contact us today to begin your path to wellness.
When I listen to music, I close my eyes and it takes me away. Anytime we bring a new speaker into the studio, we tune the speaker for the room. Every room sounds different, and every environment that the speaker goes into affects the sound of the speakers. Now you can do the same thing at home that we do in the studio. I can think of no better feeling than to close your eyes and disappear into the music.
Come hear for yourself at Video Revolution.
Hello and welcome back for more Explore Tulsa.
Our next artist got his start using wooden fences as his palette. Get it? Art, palette, wooden palettes.
Yeah, we all got it, Stevie. And lucky for us, Tom at the Laser Z Studio grew his vision of custom fencing to fun art for all to enjoy.
I had a landscape company for about 17, 18 years, and one spring day, I woke up and I felt like God was telling me that somebody on my crew was going to be struck by lightning. And lo and behold, it was a beautiful blue sky day, not a cloud in the sky. And actually a storm blew up. And I'm thinking, oh no, here comes that storm. On that day, the guys ran into the pump room. I got them out of the rain. And sure enough, I was out there just trying to clean the driveway. And lightning struck the house that I was at, blew the chimney over the whole 5 acres of the property, and indirectly hit me and knocked my heart out of rhythm. So at that point, I knew I had to change careers. Well, I got with a guy out of Florida. He was a CIA agent, an ex-CIA agent, had a private investigating business, taught me the ropes of how to find a cheated property. So I did the private investigating gig, started Worldwide Research Services here in Tulsa for about 7 years. And I had to go undercover in that private investigating business. And I was never who I said I was. I was always under pretext and always having to, live a different life. After about 3 years, I really felt like God was calling on my heart to put scripture on wood, and I didn't really realize what that meant in all the scheme of things. On Good Friday, a year later is when it was, I gave my resignation and started this business, Laser Z Studio, and I've been doing this for about 6 years now. When I started my business, I really was going to start placing scripture on fence panels. So that would be burning them actually in my laser here and placing them outside in people's yards so that as people drove by, they'd be able to see them. So I took them to a trade show, one of the downtown trade shows, and I can remember setting up my booth and having some demos of the big fences, but I also brought these 23 by 23 size, they were just sample boards, I thought, so that people could get an idea of how it might look on their fences. Well, as I was there at the show, people continued to come up to me and ask me how much those samples were. By the end of the show, I was definitely rethinking what product I was going to be selling. Yeah, I think that's kind of the most exciting part of it all. In fact, people that come into my studio, they always look around and they always tell me it's like being in a candy store for the eye, because I do have a lot of things to look at in my studio. And most of the time I keep the stuff hanging around so that people can get an idea of what I can do. The joy that comes to my heart when I can make something for somebody that they're going to give as a gift that will last a lifetime for somebody and be able to be passed down to somebody else, it sure makes my heart warm every night. I enjoy being around people and I enjoy sharing the Lord. And those two things, I don't think you'll ever leave my business without coming across. When I bought the Laser, I knew it had a lot of capabilities, but I've found that it has so many more capabilities now that I've been in it. And it's just been a fun journey because I've really gotten to meet a lot of interesting people, bringing a lot of interesting projects to my place of business, and really relearning another business and having fun every day again. And I think that's the joy of life.
Tom was so much fun to visit with, and if you're a college sports fan, Tom can hook you up with some serious swag for your game room.
To see Tom's work for yourself, visit laserzstudio.com or do a search on Facebook.
Well, I tell you what, both artists we've had on the show are such characters with interesting backgrounds. Someone could make a movie about either one of them.
Well, maybe somebody has already done that, and we'll find out if it made the cut for the Tulsa American Film Festival when we come back with more Explore Tulsa.
Sony and Video Revolution take you there. From space travel to world championships. Tomorrow's technology today. 4K smart TVs and the largest flat screens available. Now more than ever, you have the best seat in the world when history is made. Video Revolution. On the northwest corner, 71st and Lewis.
When eating products with high glycemic carbohydrates like sugar and flour, our bodies release large amounts of insulin to convert what we've consumed into usable energy.
If insulin is continually elevated, our bodies are signaled to store fat.
Keep in mind, sugar calories are deadly calories, which can lead to heart attacks, obesity, and type 2 diabetes.
The key is to keep insulin under control. Stay away from high glycemic index carbohydrates.
At least 80% of our daily carbohydrates should be from the low glycemic variety. Get our free glycemic index food chart at sherwoodwellness.tv.
Speed, rolling, and action. Go ahead, Trish. We're on. Come on, like we're making a movie, all right?
We're making a TV show, Stevie, and Ben is making a festival filled with amazing movies made by some of the best independent filmmakers around.
Is there going to be more than one movie?
Yep, the festival runs October 11th through the 15th.
Ooh, I'm going to need more popcorn.
It's a lot easier and it's a lot more accessible to make films now, but there still is technique and there's still, the creative aspect of it, and there's still, despite the fact that it is less expensive to make films, that doesn't mean everybody should be doing it. And we get lots of films from people with all different level of experiences, and it's cool that people are going out and shooting. You've had films that are shot on iPhones now and stuff, but there definitely is technique, and we definitely with the Tulsa American Film Festival, really make sure that what we present, what we show is top level.
Everything from before this trip. None of it exists. Not unless you want it to. Take this cup. It doesn't exist. Here, look at me.
This is stupid.
Trust me.
But it's right there.
What is?
Your cup. What's going on?
The Tulsa American Film Festival showcases works from filmmakers across the United States. We do focus a little bit on local filmmakers, Oklahoma-based filmmakers. We definitely, want to showcase, the people who are, creating film in our backyards.
So when I was of age to start participating in AIM things, I was doing it because I wanted to sit among them.
Some of the bigger films that we're going to show this festival in a couple of weeks is we have the Oklahoma premiere of Man Killer. It's a documentary about woman man killer, which is something that's just very relevant for this part of the country. Our closing night film is a film called Mr. Roosevelt. It did really well at South by Southwest. A filmmaker from Texas.
So, art. Is art short for Arthur?
No, it's short for artist, actually.
Really?
Yeah, my parents have pretty high expectations.
Oh, well, my name's Emily. My parents had very, very low expectations.
Well, it must be pretty high to turn out pretty creative.
What makes you say that?
I don't know, you have like the whole quirky girl vibe going.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
That is so condescending.
It's not condescending. Saying you're quirky means saying you're interesting. It's a compliment.
No, it's not. Because you would never call a guy that. With a guy, you use another word, like eccentric. But with a girl, you need a word that recognizes her uniqueness, but at the same time values her intelligence. Like, her delightful whimsy could never make a cogent argument highlighting your unconscious sexism.
The festival is October 11th through the 15th, but leading into the festival, we have all these pre-festival events. And Monday night, we're screening, we have a Will Sampson retrospective, and we're screening One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest here at Circle on Monday night. The following Thursday, we're screening 2 films here at Circle at the same time. We're co-presenting on both of those films, and one of them is Far Western, which is a film that's just been highly anticipated, and that's being brought to you by This Land Press, and we're lucky with Circle to be able to co-present that film.
From Tokyo, Japan, Blue Side of Lonesome.
Mountain music のフィーリングを出したいとか、そういった憧れ。
Most of the country musicians, their dream is to sing on an opera stage.
I felt very lucky from the first year that we started because right off the bat, especially because I wasn't from Tulsa, I had no roots here, and I felt really lucky, that we had really good support from very solid local institutions, films that don't have major stars in it or don't have major studio money. So it's the experimental stuff. It's the filmmaker with passion that created something, and it's really good. So we hope that you'll trust us with our programming and come check out what we put together.
The Circle Cinema will be hopping with great entertainment, and all those movies look even better than Netflix quality.
To make sure you don't miss your favorite screening, visit TulsaAmericanFilmFest.com for a program schedule.
With all the big fall premieres happening, you'll want to mark your calendars for the debut of a new reality show shot mostly right here in Tulsa.
But its roots stem from Little House on the Prairie fame, and we'll learn all about raising wildlife next when we come back with more Explore Tulsa. Why are we in spacesuits?
We are traveling to the future, where TVs have a contrast range between 400 nits of brighter whites and blacks as deep as 0.4 nits and 10-bit color. It gives us over 1 billion individual colors on the screen.
Video Revolution already has tomorrow's TVs today with the best in Sony high dynamic range TVs.
TVs with contrast and color offering more natural, true-to-life colors?
Oh yes, Video Revolution now and in the future on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis. Are your memories fading?
And no, not the ones stored in your little gray cells. The memories you've collected on those old VHS camcorders.
Or even that beat up Super 8.
Video Revolution can restore your memories from any outdated format and return them to you in a DVD or Blu-ray form.
That way you can relive the past on the big screen.
We can even produce digital copies for you to share with your families or friends online.
Check us out on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis. If you were ever a fan of the show or books of Little House on the Prairie, then you'll be so glad you stuck around for more Explore Tulsa.
That's right, Trish. Beginning next Sunday at 4 p.m., the CW presents the much anticipated debut of Raising Wilder.
Unlike most reality shows, Jason Wilder and his family have fun holding true to the family traditions and values that his great-great-aunt depicted in her books.
Most people know of my great-great-aunt Laura Ingalls Wilder and her husband Almanzo Wilder. And Almanzo's sister is Eliza Jane Wilder. That's my great-great-grandmother. Me and Paula, we were pregnant with our second, with Joanna, and we were sitting there watching Little House on the Prairie, and she goes, "Oh, I love Almanzo." And I said, "Yeah, that's my great-great-uncle." She goes, "Don't even play."
When he told me that he was a Wilder, I didn't believe him, and I was like, "Don't you dare play with the Wilders. You have no idea how important they are to me."
I kept saying, "Yeah, it's really who I am." And she says, "No, no, no." I said, "Google it." So she Googled it, and she's like, "Oh."
I started crying, and I said, "Thank you so much." And he said, "For what?" I said, "For your family. They saved my life when I was a child." When I was little, I had a traumatic thing happen to me, and to help me, my mom bought me those books. Those books brought me joy and happiness, and I liked the books about Little House on the Prairie, but my favorite was Farmer Boy, and Farmer Boy is 100% about the Wilder family.
Little House on the Prairie was written by Laura Ingalls Wilder, and the TV show by Michael Landon, that was kind of an offspring of her books that she wrote. I was raised by my grandmother, Betty Thayer Huey, and her entire life was basically evolved around Little House on the Prairie. She went on the sets themselves and met with Michael Landon and talked about the show, and that was the life we led. You know, she was so pro-Wilder that she wanted everybody in the family and everybody that we met, you know, we're Wilders. You got a lot to live up to, so. And we started talking about it and what the Wilder name meant, and she was like, you know, it'd be great for us to basically, you know, bring people back to that lifestyle.
Jason hunts and fishes, and he remodels homes, and he's very much like they were. He chops his own wood, he can do anything. He is an absolute craftsman, and I wanted to share that with other people. That's the purpose of our show. We want to show other people how to get back to the simpler way of things and how to do things like the old time, not to be dependent on the stores and things like that, but to make your own things, grow your own vegetables, sew your own clothes, crochet your own blankets, you know, those kind of things that are a long forgotten art. We would like to bring that back and share that way of living with other people because it's an amazing way to live. It's so freeing, honestly, to be able to take your hands and create something.
Episode 3, we went to a ghost town in California we like to go to called Caligo Ghost Town. And Paula and the kids kind of came up with this idea to ditch me at the ghost town slowly, one by one.
So he stuck with Joanna by himself?
You don't know either? Well, come on, let's go keep looking.
And the responsibility of carrying on those traditions means a lot to me because it's my way of giving back to the Wilders for what they did to me through those books.
You gotta be a good train.
One of my favorite times in the evening is Jason will take us all around the sofa and he'll pull out Farmer Boy and he'll read a chapter. And in those times when he has the fireplace, the wood-burning stove going, and we're all snuggled together and he's reading to us from Farmer Boy, and the kids are hearing about their great-great-grandma, and the kids and I had just made chocolate cake or whatever. It's like bonds us all together, and it ties us together, and it makes us who we want to be and who we are and who we want to share with other people.
Jason let us watch a couple of the sneak peek episodes, and the whole family was having such a great time.
New episodes air each week on the CW every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. You can also visit raisingwildler.com or search for them on Facebook to learn more about the show.
Jason taught me a thing or two about the great outdoors and roughing it a bit.
Really, what do you know about roughing it?
Just the other day, I drove so far out of town that I only had one bar on my iPad. Almost everything I watched was like in low resolution.
Ooh, that's toughing it out, all right. Stick around. There's more Explore Tulsa just ahead.
We do podiatry, we do dental oral appliances, we do women's health, we see children, pediatrics, and overall family care.
I'm a primary care provider for Sooner Care. We're also taking commercial insurances now as well. Any given day, I might do a well child on a 4-day-old baby and then see a 72-year-old who's here because they need to follow up on their sleep study.
Patients seem to like the idea where they can just come here and they don't have to worry about going to all these different specialists, whether they need a sleep study or a CPAP machine or diabetic shoes or an oral appliance. We help bring all that to the table for them.
And especially with oral appliances, custom fit by a specially trained dentist, and we have Dr. Bennett, who's the best in the business.
It has been my dream to be able to work with all the specialties together. There are not many places in the United States that have all parts of this together. To me, it's amazing, and that's truly how sleep and patient care should be.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln with Oklahoma Sports Scene. I'm Gil Cloud.
And I'm J.V. Haney.
And you're watching Explore Tulsa.
Be sure and join us next week on Explore Tulsa when we take a trip to Owasso and visit Wheels and Thrills.
Special thanks to Jason Butts for all the hard work and talent that you're showing us on the Sand Springs murals.
Thanks to Tom Zampino for showing us his amazing art at Laser Z Studios, and special thanks to Ben Arredondo and his crew for bringing us the Tulsa American Film Festival.
Plus, thanks to Jason Wilder and his family for sharing their lives with us on Raising Wilder.
Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at exploretulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
And hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook and share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus, remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for all your home entertainment needs.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zollner and Associates.
Home of Tulsa's best eye care value with 2 locations, 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
And we welcome our newest sponsors, Doctors Mark and Michelle Sherwood at 61st and Sheridan.
Remember, your journey to whole body healing and wellness begins with the Functional Medical Institute.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.